Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, let's quickly take a look at the prices here. Bitcoin over $116,000. But as I've been telling you guys, I'm being cautiously optimistic here in the short term. Midterm and long term, I am bullish. Many of you know that we are still in a bull market. But right now, on the weekly chart, the MACD shows the bears are in control. And if we are following the cyclical pattern of the market here, then we have to look at the metrics and the data and go with what the data is telling us, even though we're seeing an uptick in the price. But until we break through, those all-time highs, there's still room for downside here. So watch out. This week coming could be very volatile because we are going to hear from the Fed. And anytime there's any type of FOMC meeting or announcement, there's lots of volatility. So be prepared for the volatility. And this could send us crashing, flash crashing. Then we find our bottom and then we start rallying, I believe, in the second half of September, going into October to new all-time highs. That is my prediction based on what I'm seeing here. Global liquidity is something I continue to monitor. It has recovered to the top it was showing in September, but we need to see it break new highs, and it looks like it will. So this is where we're going to look at this data point and determine if Q4 is going to be a local top, and then the ultimate blow-off top comes in Q1 2026, or we get our blow-off top in Q4. So patience is the key. Let's continue to monitor the data and the charts and the metrics and the signals to get an idea where we're at and where we're going. Now, something that's interesting, one user here highlighted the gold chart because it looks like gold is about to top out. It is in the overbought zone and it has been making new all-time highs. And what we've seen is the rotation of liquidity from these assets from a macro perspective, from gold to stocks to crypto. Gold has been a leading indicator in this macro bull market. And yes, we are in a macro bull market for all assets, real estate, crypto, stocks, and so forth. That's why you see the prices going up despite maybe the economy not doing as well. I think we're in a light recession right now. So with gold topping out, you could start to see rotation liquidity here, and that liquidity start hitting stocks again and in crypto as we head into the second half of September into October. So you see how these things are running in parallel here as far as timing and what we're looking at. And again, it's just the facts. I'm not making this up. If you go look at the chart, it's overbought. And many analysts are calling this the fifth wave from an Elliott wave analysis standpoint for gold on the charts. You can, of course, go do your own research, but I'm sharing the data here with you. So this is very interesting. Now, here's another example that we are in a bull market, folks. Gemini, the crypto exchange headed up by the Winklevoss twins, they did their IPO, their public listing on the Nasdaq on Friday, and it was a $425 million Nasdaq debut. The stock performed really well. Now, I don't hold the stock, and I don't usually go buy IPOs when they launch because that's a trap right there. Now, many people don't know about that. There's a lot of retail people who don't know. And sure, it could work out where you get some short-term gains, but usually when a stock comes out via IPO and there's a lot of hype and it starts rallying, that's not sustainable. There's going to be a cool down period. And then when it cools down, that's when you look to accumulate. So shares of Gemini, the digital asset exchange founded by Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss, surged in their market debut on Friday, signaling strong institutional appetite for crypto-related equities. Gemini shares briefly topped $40 on Friday, according to Yahoo Finance data, before retreating later in the session. By the afternoon, Gemini was trading near $35 a share, up 24% on the day for a market cap around $1.3 billion. So congrats to the Winklevoss twins. And folks, again, another example. We are in a bull market. No one does an IPO or public listing in a bear market when there's no liquidity. But we've been seeing global liquidity has been going up. We have been in a bull market for the past 2 years. Obviously, some of you are going to say, what? Well, it depends what assets you've been holding, right? That's why I hold some Bitcoin in my portfolio. That has been carrying my portfolio, even though altcoins were not catching up yet. Now altcoins are starting to catch up. But this is where you want to be diversified. You don't want to be emotional. You don't want to be tribal. You want to be educated. as I've been saying, don't be emotional, be educated. So great debut for the Winklevoss twins, and best of luck to them on this. I think we're going to continue to see more crypto companies go public as we continue to bull market. But once the signal is at the top, and you're going to see less and less as we head into the bear market, right? Remember, these guys don't operate by emotions. They have banks and room full of analysts reviewing all the data and signals to plan this out accordingly to get the best possible performance. Now, very big news from Tether. They unveiled USAT, a planned US regulated dollar-backed stablecoin, and they're appointing Bo Hines as the CEO. Many of you may recall I interviewed Bo Hines. He was working with David Sachs at the White House, part of the White House Digital Asset Council, if you want to call it that. So really great pickup here by Tether, and they're launching a stablecoin for the United States, and really great branding. USAT. Very, very smart on their part. I love the branding there. My background's in digital marketing, so from a marketing perspective, very, very smart. So Tether announced a new dollar-backed stablecoin and said former White House crypto advisor Bo Hines will become CEO of Tether USAT. The new stablecoin will be consistent with the reserve requirements and compliance standards of the recently passed Genius stablecoin bill and will use Tether's Hadron real-world asset tokenization platform, according to a Friday announcement. Stablecoins recently crossed the $270 billion milestone, according to RWA.xyz. Tether's CEO, Paolo Ardoino, said, Tether is already one of the largest holders of U.S. Treasuries because we believe in the enduring power of the U.S. dollar. USAT is our commitment to ensuring that the dollar not only remains dominant in the digital age, but thrives. So Tether, as many of you may know, they hold a lot of U.S. Treasuries. And on the list of countries that hold U.S. Treasuries, Tether's climbing that list. And it's pretty incredible what's happening. And this is why I've been saying we're at another Bretton Woods moment where the U.S. is not going to be as dependent on foreign countries to hold its treasuries, but they can now go to stablecoin issuers who are issuing the U.S. dollar. And the Genius Act passed. Banks are going to issue their own stable coins and much more. So this works very well for the dollar dominance and for the United States to keep doing what it's doing. So very big news here, folks. I'm going to try to get Tether's CEO back on the podcast to talk about this. I've interviewed him a couple of times over the years. So the stablecoin wars, the race is heating up here. Competition's very good for the consumer and us as users. So let's see how this all goes as within the next 6 months or so, and how much steam they pick up here in the United States. Now, folks, quick word from our sponsor, and that is Propy. Propy is leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. Folks, Larry Fink, CEO of BlackRock, said tokenization is the future of finance. And we know they're going to tokenize all assets. And that, of course, includes real estate, which is the world's largest asset class. Now, Propy allows you to buy and sell real estate using crypto. So if you want to sell your house for XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, you can do that on Propy. And the whole platform is powered by blockchain. They also use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service. So for the buying and selling and the holding of the assets and so forth. So Propy's been doing this since 2017. They're a licensed pioneer, Web3 pioneer, and they facilitated over $4 billion in transactions. Now, I discovered Propy back in 2018. I'm a Pro token holder. Pro is the native token of the Propy blockchain, and they're working with a lot of real estate organizations around the United States and around the world, folks. So they've put deeds on chain, they've created NFTs for properties and much more. They are really leading the charge, folks. So I highly recommend you go check them out. They're doing a lot of great things. So go to propy.com. Link will be in the description. Now, folks, look at this news. This is very big. Polymarket turns to Chainlink oracles for resolution of price-focused bets. We continue to see nonstop adoption of Chainlink, and that's why I hold it in my portfolio. Not financial advice, do your own research, but I've been sharing with you guys, Chainlink has been getting tons of adoption. The most recent was news of them partnering with UBS, trying to do some tokenization pilots in Hong Kong. So the amount of adoption Chainlink is seeing is incredible in the crypto market and outside of the crypto market. And Polymarket, which is the crypto-powered prediction platform, they got the green light from the CFTC, so they're going to go all in. I'm going to try to get the founder on the podcast, but the clarity is there, and they're going to scale the business here in the United States. So Polymarket, one of the largest on-chain prediction markets, said it has integrated Chainlink's Oracle infrastructure to supply verifiable data and automate how markets are resolved. According to a press release, the partnership combines Chainlink data streams for low latency timestamp price reports with Chainlink automation to trigger on-chain settlement at preset times. Already live on Polygon mainnet for price-based markets such as crypto pairs, the tie-up aims to make outcomes faster and harder to tamper with. The firm said they will also test methods for applying Chainlink data to more subjective questions to reduce reliance on social voting. So folks, huge adoption of Chainlink here. And again, Chainlink getting adoption both in crypto and outside of crypto. And I continue to be bullish on this token, and I hope it does well this bull market cycle. It's already been performing well. I'm hoping for $100 plus a Chainlink price, but again, not financial advice. That's my hope, but we got to see how the market plays out. But so far, so good. And this is one project you want to keep an eye on. Now, moving ahead, WisdomTree introduces tokenized private credit fund as market crosses $16 billion. So folks, we're seeing all the big Wall Street TradFi institutions going all in on tokenization, tokenizing stocks, money market funds, and much more. This is the future of finance, as I mentioned earlier with Proppy. They're going to put everything on chain, folks. So asset manager WisdomTree launched its private credit and alternative income digital fund, a tokenized private credit vehicle, amid an uptick in firms expanding into the tokenized private credit niche and other tokenized real-world assets. The fund will include credit extended to private corporations, loans made to real estate investment trusts, which are funds that track baskets of commercial properties, and debt for business development corporations, which are investment companies that offer financing to other businesses, according to Friday's announcement. So the private credit and alternative fund is available to retail and institutional investors, expanding access to an asset class typically reserved for institutional and sophisticated investors. This is really great to hear that they're opening it up to retail. So this is one of the benefits of tokenizing some of these funds, is that now you can open it up to people across the globe and they can buy fractions of these tokenized assets. So this is really, really great. Now, of course, they're not the first to do this. WisdomTree, that is, they're following a bunch of other TradFi institutions who announced earlier in the year that they are doing this as well. And it includes investment bank Goldman Sachs and banking institution BNY Mellon. They are offering access to tokenized money market funds for investors. This was announced in July. State Street, which is one of the big three asset managers, which includes BlackRock and Vanguard, signed on as the first custodian for financial services company JP Morgan's tokenized debt platform in August. So this is incredible, folks. And let me give you some more details here. State Street completed the platform's first transaction by purchasing $100 million in tokenized commercial debt from the Overseas Chinese Banking Corporation, one of Southeast Asia's oldest banking institutions. Oracle provider Chainlink, again, Chainlink, right? UBS, an asset manager with $5.9 trillion in assets under management, and RWA exchange DigiFT launched a pilot program to test tokenized fund settlement in Hong Kong in September. BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with over $12.5 trillion of assets under management, is reportedly exploring tokenizing exchange-traded funds or baskets of equities that are listed on stock exchanges. We're still very early. See the building that's happening here. Some of these things are not even live yet. They're still in the development phase, but this is why I've been saying I'm not only bullish on this bull market, but 2028 to 2030 as well. So I'll be buying the dips in the bear market and loading up and getting ready for the next bull market. Obviously, we got to get through this bull market, right? We're approaching the top. And when I say that, I don't mean it's a week away or a month away. Obviously, we're talking like a 4 to 6 month window. Could be less, of course, but I don't have a crystal ball. But based on the data, that's my estimation. So this is where we have to stay focused. We have to not be emotional. We got to look at the data and form our thesis and continue to update that thesis as the facts change, of course. But things are moving in the right direction, folks. I hope you see the building that's happening here, and it's being done by major institutions. which at one point were, spreading FUD and talking negatively about this asset class. And now they're all here building. And you see a lot of retail folks who are emotionally driven by markets. They're not educated about the markets. They are getting caught in the crosswinds of the markets, right? And the macro and the news and the politics and so forth. But you got to leave those things at the door and just look at the data, and that will help you navigate the markets. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button. A great way you can support me in the podcast is by subscribing to my free email newsletter. It is 100% free. Link will be in the description. Check out my book on Amazon. It is available in paperback and digital. And my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you every aspect of crypto. So if you'd like to expand your crypto knowledge, check out mycryptocourse.com. Folks, thank you so much for watching and listening. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.